There are 400 miles of Utah highway that most travelers have never heard of. I should know. I'm Guy Cook, the Vice President and official Webmaster for the U.S. Route 6 Tourist Association. Today I'm giving you 20 stops that will change how you think about Utah road trips. Let's get to it. U.S. Route 6 runs from the Nevada border all the way to the Colorado border, right through the heart of Utah. 400 miles, 4 days, and most people drive it without stopping once. That's the mistake, because this highway passes through some of the most overlooked history and scenery in the American West. Here's what you need to know before you go. Best time to visit: April through early June or September through October. Summer temperatures hit over 100 degrees and cell service disappears in long stretches between towns. Download your offline maps before you leave. I'll show you exactly how to do that in the newsletter. Now, 20 stops starting at the Nevada border. Here we go. Stop 1. The moment you cross the Nevada border into Utah on Route 6, the landscape opens up. Broad desert valleys, distant mountain ranges, almost no traffic. The light out here, especially at sunrise, turns the desert gold. At sunset, you get deep purple shadows across the valley floor. If you're starting early in the morning, this is already worth pulling over. Stop 2. Don't rush through the Great Basin. This is one of the most underrated stretches of driving in Utah. If you're traveling in spring, you may see wildflowers blooming across the desert floor, colors you would not expect out here. Carry extra water. Services are sparse for long stretches. That's not a suggestion, that's a rule. Stop 3. This is the one I want you to pay attention to. During World War II, the United States government forcibly relocated thousands of Japanese-Americans and confined them here, in this desert. Topaz War Relocation Center is one of the most important historical sites along the entire length of Route 6. Walking the interpretive trails, visiting the museum, it's a sobering experience. The landscape tells part of the story on its own. The wind, the isolation, the distance from anything. Plan for 1 to 2 hours here. Museum admission is modestly priced. The outdoor interpretive areas are free. Donations help preserve the site. You will leave here thinking differently. That's the point. Stop 4. Delta, Utah. After Topaz, Delta feels like a breath of fresh air. Small town atmosphere, agricultural roots, historic downtown with vintage signs worth photographing. If you're hungry, and you will be, find a classic Utah diner. Chicken fried steak, homemade pie, fry sauce with your fries. That's a Utah staple. One important tip: local cafes close early. Get there before evening. Delta is your overnight stop for day 1. Accommodations are affordable and centrally located. Day 2. This is where the scenery changes completely. You leave the desert flats behind and enter rocky hills, mountain passes, and narrow canyon corridors. It feels cinematic. Stop 5. Price Canyon is one of the great scenic drives on all of U.S. Route 6. Towering cliffs right beside the highway. Freight trains snake through the canyon below, and if you time it right, you can watch one pass. In autumn, cottonwoods and aspens hit bright yellow against the red rock walls. One practical note: if you're driving this in winter, watch the weather forecasts carefully. Snow and ice make the canyon hazardous. Spring and fall, this is a highlight of the whole trip. Stop 6, 9 Mile Canyon. And here's something most people don't know. Despite the name, 9 Mile Canyon is not 9 miles long. It stretches far, far farther than that, and along those canyon walls is one of the largest collections of rock art in North America. Take the detour. It is absolutely worth the extra time. Stop 7, the Great Hunt Panel. This is one of the must-see rock art panels in the canyon. Petroglyphs carved into the rock face, some of them over 1,000 years old. You are looking at ancient communication, ancient storytelling. Standing in front of it creates a rare sense of connection to people who lived here long before any of this was a road trip. Best time to visit: morning or late afternoon. Avoid summer midday heat. The canyon roads are mostly graded, but conditions can change after storms. Stop 8. The Big Buffalo Panel, another of the canyon's marquee rock art sites. Take your time here. Don't rush 9 Mile Canyon. It rewards patience. There is no entry fee. The art is free. Stop 9. Historic Helper. This is my favorite town on the entire route. Helper was originally a railroad town. Locomotives needed extra engines, helper engines, to climb the steep grades out of the canyon. The town built up around that. Then the railroad era wound down, but instead of becoming a ghost town, Helper reinvented itself as an arts and history destination, without losing any of its authenticity. Brick buildings, murals, railroad heritage everywhere you look. Walk the historic downtown. Photograph the architecture. This town has a personality most cities wish they had. Stop 10. The Western Mining and Railroad Museum is right here in Helper. If you have any interest in the history that built the American West, the coal mines, the railroads, the people who worked them, this museum is worth your time. Spend the night in Helper. The atmosphere after dark is something you don't want to miss. Several cafes here serve surprisingly excellent coffee. For dinner, smoked brisket, burgers, or green chili dishes. We're halfway through the route, and this is where it gets interesting. Stick with me. Goblin Valley and Arches are still ahead, and if this guide is useful to you, subscribe. I put out practical content like this every week. Now, back to the road. Day 3 delivers some of Utah's strangest and most unforgettable scenery. This is the day most people talk about when they describe this road trip. Stop 11, Goblin Valley State Park. I want to be precise about this. Goblin Valley looks like another planet. Thousands of mushroom-shaped hoodoos spread across the valley floor. The formations create an almost unreal landscape, and unlike most national parks, visitors can freely wander among the formations. No set trail, no roped-off areas. You walk right in. The light changes these rocks dramatically. Pale tan in midday, glowing orange at sunrise and sunset. Plan your timing accordingly. There is a state park entrance fee. Check seasonal rates before you go. Bring plenty of water. Shade is limited. This is not optional advice. Stop 12, Little Wild Horse Canyon. If your schedule has room, this optional hike is one of Utah's best slot canyon experiences. Moderate difficulty. No permit required for a day hike. One firm warning. Do not enter a slot canyon if storms are in the forecast. Flash floods happen fast and without warning out here. Check the weather. Take it seriously. Stop 13. Green River, Utah. Classic Western road trip stop. Late summer, this town becomes the melon capital of Utah. The harvest season brings stands with the sweetest cantaloupe and watermelon you will find anywhere in the state. Outside of melon season, green chili burritos, classic diner breakfasts, Utah-style burgers. Green River has the nostalgia of old American highway travel baked into every block. Stop 14. Before you leave Green River, drive the Strip. Vintage motels, old neon signs, gateway town energy. This is what American road travel looked like before the interstates took over. It is worth a walk and some photographs. Day 4, the final stretch. The scenery escalates right up until the Colorado border. Stop 15. As you head east from Green River toward Moab, the canyon country opens up into Castle Valley. Massive red rock formations on either side of the road. This is pure southern Utah scenery, the kind that ends up on calendars. Pull over, take the photograph. Stop 16, Moab, the adventure capital of Utah. Even if you're just passing through, Moab earns a stop. Gateway to Canyonlands, gateway to Arches. The Colorado River runs right through it. The town itself, restaurants, gear shops, river tour operators, has energy unlike anywhere else on this route. Stop 17, Arches National Park. Over 2,000 natural sandstone arches. More arches than anywhere else on Earth. Delicate Arch is the most photographed landmark in the state of Utah. You know the image. Standing in front of it in person is a different experience entirely. Plan at least a half day here. Entry requires a timed entry permit during peak season. Book in advance. Do not show up and assume you'll walk right in. That's the most common mistake first-time visitors make. Stop 18. If you have time for one hike, it's Delicate Arch. 3 miles round trip, moderate. The final approach comes over a sandstone bowl, and the arch appears without warning. There is no way to prepare for the scale of it. Stop 19. Thompson Springs, a nearly forgotten railroad town sitting quietly off the highway. Old buildings slowly returning to the desert. There are no admission fees here, no interpretive signs, just a place that time passed by. If you appreciate ghost town energy without the tourist infrastructure, Thompson Springs is worth the detour. Stop 20. The Colorado border, east of Thompson Springs. 400 miles of Utah-U.S. Route 6 completed. You've crossed desert basins, canyon country, agricultural valleys, and alien landscapes. You've stood at a World War II memorial site, walked among a 1,000-year-old rock art gallery, and wandered through a valley that looks like another planet. That is U.S. Route 6 across Utah. That is what most travelers miss. Before you head out, a few things that will make this trip work. Water. Carry more than you think you need. Fuel stations are far apart in remote stretches. Offline maps. Cell service disappears on this route. Open Google Maps on Wi-Fi, tap your profile picture, select offline maps, then download the region you're driving. Do this before you leave. Your downloaded maps will work without any signal. Weather. Flash floods can occur suddenly in canyon country. Check conditions before heading into remote areas, especially 9 Mile Canyon and Little Wild Horse Canyon. Best seasons: April through early June, September through October. Summer temperatures exceed 100 degrees. Plan accordingly. Camera gear, wide-angle lens for the landscape, tripod for sunrise and sunset, extra batteries. You'll use them. 20 stops, 400 miles, 4 days. That is the epic Utah Route 6 road trip. I hope this video has been a help to you. If you're planning this trip, save this video now. You're going to want to come back to it. And if you've already driven Route 6, drop a comment and tell me which stop was your favorite. For more on U.S. Route 6 from coast to coast, visit the U.S. Route 6 Tourist Association website. As I say at the end of every episode, it's a wrap.